Hello and welcome to another episode of Aren't You Exhausted? I am your biggest back bitch host, Ashley, and today we're doing a first time react to Amberlynn's latest vlog, taking a break, frustrating, semaglutide update, therapy consultation, and reminiscing with mom vlog. She just posted this today a few hours ago, and I thought I would just go ahead and watch it for the first time with y'all. So let's go.
I actually have a consultation with a therapist who specializes in BPD and CPTSD, which is perfect for me. I was diagnosed with those things a couple years ago, and since then I have not seen a therapist. The psychologist who diagnosed me, I did see them for a bit, but they did not specialize in that, and they recommend you need to see someone who specializes in these things, and I'm like, I know, but I don't know.
Brief pause here for a minute. Wasn't she put on medication for her BPD a long while back and then she just refused to take it because she didn't like how it made her feel? Wasn't that a thing? I'm pretty sure it was.
I don't know, it's scary for me, I'm not gonna lie. So I'm extremely nervous, and it's literally just a 15-minute consultation to see if we're the right fit. That's about to happen in about 30 minutes, and I'll let you guys know how it went. Is my phone staying still? Yes. Okay. So obviously I've had my consultation. I'll talk more about that later. Me and my mom just grabbed a bite to eat because we're about to go to electronic bingo. I have been so sad, and it's just nice to be out with my mom. Oh, here she comes, here she comes.
Oh, it's windy out here, man.
It is windy.
Mammalynn goes and knocks the camera over.
What happened to your phone?
Oh,
What are you doing? What are you doing?
I was filming.
What'd you say?
I was vlogging.
Oh, God.
Oh my God, is it broke?
It's funny, right?
Look at my mom's outfit. I was like, dang, that shirt's so pretty. I've never seen it before. Guess where she got it? You said Goodwill.
I mean, Goodwill.
Yeah, Goodwill.
It was Goodwill.
Yeah.
Goodwill's right by my house.
I was like, who would get rid of that shirt? I thought it was so cute on her.
Oh, it's long sleeve. What?
I just realized that we're wearing the same colors.
Girl, you're weird.
Black and red.
I'm so full. I really cheated on my diet.
Is Amber vaping again? Is that why we quit semaglutide? Did you see the little puff of air come from over here? We saw Mammalynn smoking, and while it may be cold out there, we haven't seen anybody's breath as they've been talking and laughing and everything. So it's kind of funny how it would automatically start going off. Mammalynn has just finished her cigarette after they finished eating. And is that why the semaglutide is no longer working?
Like,
That's relatable content.
whoa, so bad.
My mom cheated.
Yeah, so now I'll just eat. Yeah, right. And I'll just eat like lettuce all day tomorrow.
Do you remember when we had a turtle named Lettuce? When we lived in Windsor in the restaurant?
His name was Lettuce.
See right here, they're talking back and forth. No, like you'd be able to see their breath from it being too cold. So Amber.
Can you imagine if we had a podcast?
Why do they call it podcast? What's POD stand for? It stands for something, you would think.
That's a good question. I don't know.
So a little brief history break on that is podcasts came about fairly recently. I mean, when you look at things, but it was essentially the merging of two words, iPod and broadcast, podcasts, and it's digital formatted audio files available for download on the internet. It's not that deep, but also like the fact Amberlynn watches podcasts daily and talks about different podcasts and doesn't know anything further than that. It's very on brand, but also like, can you Google it? You Google everything else. You Google your symptoms, you Google medical terminology, you Google your name. Just throw podcasts in there, Google it. Educate yourself.
I have no hair left. It's getting so thin. I don't know what the heck's going on.
It's the Oklahoma, because ever since I moved here, my hair's been thinning.
Yeah, it's definitely not because you're not on any type of hormone therapy for your lack of female organs to produce said hormones. It's not because you're malnourished, even though you're overeating on the regular. It's totally not because you are a super morbidly obese woman who constantly wears her hair up in a bun. It's totally not that.
How does that make any sense? So you can order drinks here and they deliver it to you, and she delivered it to me, and I turned my cup around and she wrote pretty sure on it. Isn't that sweet?
It's sad that Amber is having to have these kind of interactions with just her mother because she has no friends that she could be going out and doing these kind of things with. I mean, albeit probably not bingo, because not a lot of like early 30s, late 20s people want to be out at bingo, but it's just kind of sad, honestly.
Okay, you guys, hello. I have been home for a little bit now. Me and my mom had such a good time. My stepdad was there. None of us won.
Stepdad was there. So you were third wheeling your mom being out. That's great. That's great.
But I actually met a subscriber when I went to Glow in the Dark Bingo, which I vlogged a little bit of that. And then we started talking on Instagram and she wants to be like a little bingo buddy. So she did end up going there because she's never done electric bingo before. So I did see her there, but me, my mom, and my stepdad, we sit in the smoking section because they smoke cigarettes. And my bingo buddy actually did not.
So, what does it have to do with you? Are you also smoking? That lets me know that you're probably vaping with your mom and her boyfriend to feel inclusive to their little to their little date night out together. And you couldn't bother to go and sit in a non-smoking section with somebody that you're deeming to be a viewer and that you're talking with outside of YouTube, outside, I don't know. It seems kind of weird that she will not interact with people, I guess, in a personal setting.
Not sit in the smoker section, but it was still fun to see her there. But yeah, highly recommend electric bingo. So I want to give a few updates. The first one is about my 10-day challenge that I was doing. So I very much have put that on hold. Like sitting here and just like vlogging my food and weighing myself every day and like talking about that all day is like not really what I want to like preoccupy my mind with.
Of course, who wants to have to do the same thing that we've tried millions of times before on our channel, which is holding ourselves accountable? You literally cannot do it. You will not do it. And that's why we keep on seeing this repetitive, either trying to do a challenge or a new weight loss fad, semaglutide even. I mean, you are eating yourself through semaglutide. Y'all are doing stuff wrong. And I think it's maybe the allowing yourself takeout food. I think somebody as a food addict who struggles with food should essentially start over. I believe that they should. And this is coming from somebody that has had this fight. And I know good and well what to do. I know good and well what I should and should not be eating. But I also have other people living in my home. I'm not a single person living on my own, up to my own devices. And if I were, things would be a lot different. But the struggle is out there. The struggle is real, whatever. But someone with food addiction like she has, like Chantal has, they need to start with a clean slate and not have any of their trigger foods in the house, not have any of the apps on their phones, be blocked from that. And I mean, ideally, somebody take over their finances so that they don't sneak it in, so they can't sneak that kind of stuff in, to where everything is controlled portion wise and inpatient. Inpatient would be ideal, but neither one of them want to do that because that's giving up all control. But ideally, that's what they need, to give up all control and let somebody else do what they can't, and that is say no. But we're never going to see that because that doesn't pay the bills. We can't keep doing that circle like we can these weight loss fads and diet challenges and, lifestyle change challenges that can't be monetized on. We'd have to take a break from the internet. Obviously, we're not going to make money off of that if we're taking a break. So this is what you get. You're going to get the audience being blamed for her mental health. You're going to get everybody else having to be held accountable for her actions and how she chooses to do things, because holding herself accountable only aids in being able to blame her BPD, her mental health. and we're just constantly doing the circle. It doesn't benefit anybody, and it's gonna eventually lead to her becoming immobile. Something is gonna happen, and it's gonna be very sad. We watched it happen with Jennifer Gwen Ann, Life by Jen. I know she was known by on YouTube, but we've seen that path. The girls are getting up there in age. It's gonna happen if they don't change. And that's just the sad truth of it.
I am going through a breaking heart and I am sad all day long. I try very hard to come on here and like put on a mask and try to be as positive as possible, but like deep down I'm hurting and it's affecting my life. I will say though, I was having a really good time showing you guys what I was eating, logging on MyFitnessPal and like weighing myself daily and showing you guys, you know, the calories and the weigh-ins. So once my brain just feels a little better and my heart feels a little better.
So then I don't get the wanting to not continue with it. If it was making you feel good, why would you not continue doing it? That makes no sense.
I will definitely start doing that again. It's just really hard to do anything lately. So the fact that like I do get up every day and I try to make the best of it, like it's putting in a lot of effort. Trust me. So the next thing I want to talk about is semaglutide. Am I still going to be taking it, etc., etc.? And the answer is yes, I am. But there's an issue. I have no more semaglutide, and today is Friday, and I'm supposed to literally double my dose on Sunday, and I don't even have any. They told me to contact them about it. I did that. I even vlogged and I was like, you guys, I messaged the provider because it was my third shot. That's when I was supposed to tell them. He asked if I wanted to double my dose. I said yes, and it still hasn't shipped. And that was almost 2 weeks ago. Like something like this wouldn't bother me if it was like a materialistic thing, but this is like a medicine and I'm relying on this company, you know? So it is just a little frustrating. My fingers are crossed that like maybe tomorrow it'll get shipped out. Like it's Saturday and I'm pretty sure things ship out on Saturdays. So again, fingers are crossed and I will definitely keep you guys updated. Like I was just genuinely looking forward to doubling my dose actually because it's not working at all.
I mean, it would be working if you were actually working with the medication, but the fact that you're still eating heavily processed foods and not really being mindful of what you're eating, you're just still eating what you want. I mean, the takeout with your mom every weekend is kind of leading into you're not really taking this seriously. You're thinking it's going to be a magic pill and it's not. Even if you double the dose, it's highly unlikely that it's going to work in a way that you are wanting to see the results from. You're still going to have to try. You're still going to have to move. Your body needs to move. There's a social media personality that is younger than Amber, probably started out around the same time Amber did as wanting to be on a weight loss journey. She had a cancer scare, such as Amber, had to go through the hysterectomy, such as Amber, and now it has taken it seriously to lose the weight. And she's down over 100 pounds since starting out, and she's not stopped since. And it's not with the use of any medications, it's not with the use of any weight loss surgeries. It was just that was a wake up call that she needed, and she did what she needed to do to get her shit in order. And I think Amber should take inspiration from those types of people that are putting in the work instead of trying to take the easy ways out. And they even have like food addiction as well. They've been through therapy with it though. And like it's a constant therapy. And I think that's what Amber really needs. Instead of picking and choosing a therapist that's going to tell her what she wants, I think she should really listen to some hard truths about what she needs to hear versus what she wants to hear. That's just my opinion though, coming from a big back bitch. But, you know, there's a point where you got to take this shit seriously. If you're sustaining 500 plus pounds for the past, I don't know, 4 or 5 years, I think it's time to look into some alternatives to help you out because what you've been doing is not working
At all. So I hope that like once I do double my dose, like it'll actually start being in effect because I'm taking it for a reason. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is my all members live streams. There is something I'm noticing because obviously an all members live stream means it's not open to everybody to watch. I currently have over 200 members, and I genuinely was not even expecting to have like 20. So you guys are absolutely amazing and so sweet and just so supportive, and I appreciate that so much. I'm already looking forward to my next live stream. But anyways, the thing that I'm noticing is like, it's kind of like a game of telephone. People are contacting me in my Instagram, saying things I've mentioned in my live stream, but it's very just like twisted and it's a little different and not exactly what I said. So obviously there are reactors out there reacting to my live stream, but not really reacting it. They're just like narrating what I said or did in the live stream, because you can't like react to it because it's behind a paywall.
People aren't coming just willy-nilly with what it was said during the live streams. There's clips of it, so it's not coming out of thin air.
So it's like the game of telephone, which was one of my favorite games in elementary school, but it's very much not my favorite game right now. I do not mind reaction channels like narrating or saying what happened in my live stream, but I would appreciate it if people didn't like exaggerate what I said or
Yes, because you are the queen of not exaggerating things for views. You're the queen of never having exaggerated anything in your content for the shock value, for the controversy behind it. Amber, it you can't do this whole it's fine for me to do, but I don't appreciate it coming from other people when they're talking about me. You got to just deal with it, not let it bother you, because this is the stuff that's ruining your content, because you are now making your content all about what other people feel about you instead of focusing on the content you're putting out for the people that do appreciate your content.
twist what I said. Like, I genuinely want it to be exactly what I said. Like, if you're gonna narrate it and like dumb it down a bit, but like twisting and like exaggerating, I just don't think that's very fair. So a lot of you are not getting like the real information of the matter. So this is just another way for me to say, like, you guys,
I mean, if they're hearing it from your lips, they're not getting the real iteration of it. Amber, you can't have control over everything that is said about you. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news in that regard. You have no control over what other people feel and think about you, the opinions that they have on you, what they see on you in your own content, through what you say yourself. You can't help it that these channels will then clip what you've said prior and prove a point that you are lying. You have lost all trust in your community, and the ones that do trust you don't know. So I don't understand why we're making this a part of our content. I really don't.
so the last thing I want to update you guys on is the therapist. Genuinely, she was so kind, and I loved that, because she was like, a lot of people with BPD get judged even by other therapists. That sometimes people with BPD are hard to work with, hard to understand. Some of her favorite clients actually have BPD, and she genuinely enjoys working with people like me. And it made me feel so seen. And like, it didn't stop there, because I explained to her, you know, I was diagnosed with BPD and CPTSD, and she explained to me that.
Did you tell her about the ASMR? Did you tell her about the obesity? I don't take any of her diagnoses seriously, because for one, she doctor shops to get these diagnoses. She therapy shops to get these diagnoses. She is looking for somebody to validate what she feels she has. And she has Googled. And while she may have a lot of the characteristics of some of these mental health issues, I believe wholeheartedly that she has never been properly diagnosed. It has been something she has taken from suggestion that she may have and maybe needs to look into being diagnosed with. And she has just ran with that. Because how many times before have we heard the same thing from Amber, where a doctor has suggested something or said that she may have something, and she ran with that as being diagnosed? So how truthful are her diagnoses? We'll never know. She'll never tell us. Not truthfully, anyhow. And how many diagnoses does she avoid from things that she may very well have, like sleep apnea or diabetes, or, you know, some of these other comorbidities that should be affecting her at her size at her weight, at her diet, but she's kind of lucked out of because she hasn't looked into a proper diagnosis on them. I mean, she hasn't even cared properly for her lymphedema, lipedema. And with all of her exes pretty much hinting at or saying flat out that she does have issues with her legs and drainage from her legs, plus all of the cellulitis that she's had from her legs, we know that they're not well kept. So you would think that that would be another top priority, is taking care of your lymphedema, lipedema, because cellulitis for somebody her size, for somebody regular size, can be life-threatening. And is Amber going to catch them all? Probably not. There's probably going to be one time that it goes a little bit further than she expected because she was none the wiser. I'm just saying.
That when people have BPD and CPTSD at the same time, that they become anxiously attached. And I was like, jaw on the floor, because that is literally me. And it's like debilitating sometimes.
I mean, that could also be due to the fact that your parents had to give you up to foster care and that you were in and out of the foster care system. That could also be due to that trauma from that isn't necessarily due to, not all of these other diagnoses. It could very well just be the trauma from being abandoned as a child, and your fear of abandonment is manifesting into your adulthood. Food for thought. Somebody that's been in and out of therapy throughout their childhood and into adulthood.
So it's like we haven't even had like the first session. It was literally just a consultation, and already it's like a vibe. It's gonna be a lot of hard work, and I want to update you guys as much as I can and as much as I feel comfortable. I know I get judged a lot based on like my past actions and things that I've done in past relationships or even here on YouTube. And it's crazy because a lot of the things that I've done has been because I have BPD. And it's like,
so that's an excuse? I'm sorry. If you are able to monetize off of your mental health, then you should be ready to receive the criticism that comes with doing that. And that is people holding you accountable for your actions. Just because you have BPD, just because you have CPTSD, just because you have these things doesn't allow you to be a monster, doesn't allow you to treat people the way that you do without being accountable for it, to just sweep it under the rug, to just ignore it. That's not how life is. I'm sorry.
like in the past, even probably recent, I have used it as an excuse, having BPD for all of these things. And now it's like, I want to like have it as a reason, like the reason why I've done.
Amber, that is the same thing. Using it as a reason is the same as using it as an excuse. You are letting your mental health be held accountable for your actions that you are contributing to by posting about it online, by monetizing it online, by using it as a hindrance for exes and etc. to come forth and talk about you because you hold monetarily the gun to their head. You hold so much over them, all of their secrets, all of their family secrets, you hold over them. Still to this day, mind you, because you even threatened things against Beck on unleashing her skeletons, their skeletons in their closet, against Destiny. Again, like, do you not see a correlation here? I'm sorry.
On those things instead of like making it an excuse. And for a while there, I was like, what is the difference? Like, what is the difference between an excuse and a reason / explanation? An excuse is when you're not going to take accountability for it. An explanation is when you finally take accountability and you do something to change it. And I'm currently right here. Took me.
You're not there though. You're not to where you're taking accountability and doing something to change it. You've just had a consultation with a therapist. Just. As in recently. That is not taking steps would be staying in therapy long term, doing it fairly regularly, and then sticking with plans that you've made. That would be taking accountability. That would be taking steps to improve yourself. And then also not doing this, not blaming an audience for retelling of your members only lives. I mean, are you listening to what you are editing before you're about to put it out? Because this makes no damn sense.
Me a while to get there, but like I want this Amberlynn to just like go away. I'm not gonna be perfect, it's gonna take time, and I'm just feeling very hopeful. And my first appointment is on Thursday. I really just want to do the right thing. I want to be a good person. I want to just heal and be better. Before we get too emotional, I think I'm just gonna end this vlog. I hope that you guys did enjoy it, and I'll see you in the next one.
Well, that was a short and sweet vlog, wasn't it? I don't really know. I don't have anything further to input on this. As far as her trying to put out there that she's making strides to become a better person, better version of herself, it's yet to be seen. It's yet to be heard. I guess we'll see where this goes. Is she going to stay in therapy? Will she stick with the semaglutide? Will she finally go back to weight loss? Who knows? Anyhow, that's all for me tonight. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for taking the time to watch this reaction to Miss Amberlynn Reid. And if you'd be so kind to leave a comment, like, share, subscribe, it would be much appreciated. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.